David here. I'm at the Museum of Flight at the B-17F, and today we're going to be showing the bombing up of the B-17. This is Alan Peover. He's actually the manufacturer of the bomb. As replica ordnance, as we like to say in museum parlance. And here it is. Isn't it a beauty? Looks like the arming wire is on. That's this wire right here. And this is the shackle right here. The shackle's what holds it into the bomb rack. There's 42 positions on the bomb rack, even though they're not all used. Here's a bomb right here that has the fin and the rear fuse. This rear fuse is timed for 1/100th of a second. And there's another fuse on the front here. These are 500-pound bombs, by the way. This fuse on the front is a 1/10th of a second delay fuse. And here are the boys readying the bomb up.
Let's go as high as we can, I guess. Whoa. In a big guy. Easy.
No swear words, guys. This is a family channel.
Darn it!
Okay, that's better.
Are we good? We in?
Hold on a minute. Yeah. We're in. Okay.
See those ladders?
Sure. And here's the other bombs. These last two bombs will be the last bombs being installed in the bomb bay.
Sneak in.
Let's walk around. B-17 has 4 Wright Cyclone engines. These engines put out 1,200 horsepower. And they consume 50 gallons of fuel and 1 gallon of fuel every hour. The complete airplane holds 148 gallons of oil, 2,520 gallons of fuel. During the war, there was so much demand for parts, a lot of the patent holders had to subcontract for their supplies. So these particular engines were made by the Studebaker Automobile Company. These inlets wings are for the oil coolers, and there's other inlets over here for inlets for the carburetors. These are the carburetor inlets right here. There's the landing gear. It's electrically operated. There's an oil tank right there. Everything on the airplane is electrically operated except for the brakes and the cowl flaps, which are hydraulically operated. And the flight controls are manually operated. Take a look at this engine over here. This is a super turbocharger. At sea level, these planes have a 1,200 horsepower, which is plenty of power, but at 25,000 feet, there was not enough power for the airplane. So these turbo superchargers use the exhaust gas to spin a impeller, and the impeller had an impeller on the opposite side of the shaft, which forced air into the carburetors, which gave the engines sea level air pressure for full power at high altitude. Over here is one of the machine guns, or 50 caliber Browning machine guns. It fires 600 rounds per minute. And each gunner had anywhere from 130 to 500 rounds of ammunition, which give you about almost a minute's worth of firing time. There's a tail gunner position. Twin 50 machine guns in the tail. The tail gunner sat on a bicycle seat with his legs folded beneath him. There's a seat right there. There's a bomb site. You're looking through the business end of the site. Pretty cool, huh? The control surfaces are fabric. That gave the pilots a little easier control of the control surfaces. Over here's the tail wheel. The tail wheel is a caster, so it could turn around, and it locks in a forward position for takeoff and landing, and then it also retracts into the fuselage, which made it rough for the tail gunner to get this position, because he pretty much had to crawl to the tail to get there. This is a trailing antenna. This is a lead weight, which is extended out by the radio operator, and it had to extend to a proper length for the particular frequency to which he had to tune. And here's the ball turret, twin 50s here. Whoops. Whoa, that was bad. Back to live action. This is the sight window that the ball turret gunner shot through. He had 1 foot on each side of this glass. And he also had a electrical bomb sight, not bomb sight, electrical gun sight through which he aimed the guns. And the guns were on each side of his head, so you can imagine it was pretty noisy in here. He didn't have any room for his parachute. To parachute out, he had to point the guns down, open the hatch, get into the fuselage, and then snap on a chute. And then he could jump out through any one of the exits. The turret can turn 360 degrees on the one axis and 90 degrees straight down or up on the other axis. Did I say axis? I mean axis. Oh, here's a relief tube from the bomb bay in case you have to go to the bathroom. Don't touch that. Yeah, these vents on top of the wings, the vents are to allow air pressure to exit the wing because there's air entering on the leading edge of the wing for the carburetors and the turbo superchargers. And you can see the top turret on the top. Top turret gunner was also the engineer. He was in charge of assisting the pilots, takeoffs and landings, watching instruments, helping repair any armament or any other items that might be going wrong with the plane. Also transferring fuel from fuel tank to fuel tank. Behind the top turret gunner is a radio room. The radio room is where the crew members in the rear sat for safety on takeoffs and landings. The radio room was considered the safest place to be during a crash or an incident. So crew members from the rear sat on the floor of the radio room during takeoffs and landings. And that's about it for now. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye now.